Alright, good evening ladies. In today's video we're going to be going through the hottest new app in crypto that has absolutely exploded over the last couple of weeks, and that is Football.Fun. I'm going to go through exactly everything you need to know about Football.Fun, if I think there's upside, how you can make money, and what players to buy, and everything you need to know basically. So this is the Football.Fun platform. Essentially what it is, it's kind of like a mixture between a trading card game and a fantasy football game. So as you can see, like 3 weeks ago, the total market cap of all the players combined was like 1 or 2 million, and then it exploded all the way up to over 150 million, and now it's taking a bit of a pullback. I want to go through some statistics, some analytics to determine whether or not this is a pullback like that is potentially a good entry, or if this game is just going to fizzle out and no one's going to care in a couple of weeks. So I'll let you make your own decisions, but I'm going to show you all the data you need to make that decision for yourself. So quickly, how do you get started on this game? So first things first, you would need to send USDC on base. So once you see this is the homepage for Football.Fun. Use the link in the description. You're going to get bonus points. It's a referral link, so that would be appreciated. You need to send USDC on base. So this is basically USDC. It's called gold. But with that USDC, you can now go and buy shares of players. And these shares are basically like coins. So you can buy in and out of a player. It's not like an NFT. So the more people are, and as you can see, this is quite a big diff. This is like 24 hours. Everything's in quite a big pullback. But yeah, there is liquidity because these are actually coins rather than NFTs. So you can jump in and jump out without, like, even if you're a whale. We're going to go through the strategies of what players to buy, but first I want to go through a bit more of the analytics and kind of whether or not we're early on this game or we're late and this game's already finished. So first, I will say, like, this game is still very young. 150 million market cap isn't like that crazy in crypto. So the founder of Football.Fun, he worked for Sorare. So if you know what Sorare is, it's a very similar idea. It's another fantasy football game with crypto involved, but it was really picked up by normies, and I can't remember what market cap it got to, but it got into the billions anyway. And if Football.Fun got to that kind of similar market cap range, it would be $26 per player. And as you can see, like, even the top player is only $1.69. So there is potential upside if this really takes off like Sorare did. And this game is actually better. The reason, well, a lot of people are saying it's better. I've never played Sorare, but this is a fun game. This is a good fantasy football game. Try it out for yourself and make your own assumptions. But there is a free to play version. So if you want to play the free to play, there is a lot of players playing that, which shows that it is a fun game. Like, even if you're not getting rewarded to play the game in the free version, there's still a lot of players doing that. So that kind of shows that actually it's well designed, and it is very well designed. They put a lot of thought into how to get points. So it's essentially what you want to do is buy players that are going to get a lot of tournament points, and the more tournament points they get in comparisons to their price, the better for you. So it's not like most people just probably buy the top players, but the top players get their tournament points divided between more people because more people own them. What you really want to do is buy the undervalued people. So the people are going to earn a lot of tournament points in comparison to their price. That's really important. And there's 90 different players you can choose from, and it goes all the way down to like 3 cents. So I'll go a bit more into the strategy later, but just having a look at the analytics here. So this is the Football.Fun analytics on June. As you can see, there's been 16 million deposited into the application. It's kind of up to you whether you think that's a lot or a little. Like, 16 million isn't a huge amount of money, realistically. There's 12,000 players. I think NBA Top Shot, if you remember that had 1 million players. So, 100x more players than Football.Fun did. And NBA Top Shot, obviously, was just for basketball, which is not as popular a game as football is. But that's not saying that it's going to get that pick either. But I think this is a better design. This is a better designed game than NBA Top Shot, because there's less, like, they really thought about the tokenomics very cleverly, because they're learning from past mistakes from So Rare and from other fantasy football games. So that's the total deposit. That's the total withdrawn. So people have been withdrawn. So people have been withdrawing recently, because, as you saw, well, maybe you didn't see, but if you're on Twitter the last few weeks or the last few days, you saw people who put in $1,000 into this game and had 6-figure portfolios in this game. So a lot of people made a lot of money really, really quickly. So obviously they're going to take a bit of profits and they're taking it out. The gold balance, that's like the amount of USDC on the sidelines within the game, either ready to get withdrawn out of the game or more likely going to buy it back into different players. So there's $3.5 million on the sideline. I think this chart kind of shows it best. So I think if you want to look at the yellow squiggle, so that yellow line is basically this figure here. So the amount of deposit minus the amount that was withdrawn. So obviously when everything was going absolutely crazy in the last few days, this was exploding because people were just depositing. And then these early people started withdrawing some profits. So as you can see, it's not like an extreme crash of withdrawals. So like the amount of new deposits isn't keeping up with the amount of new withdrawals, but it's not like it's absolutely crashing either. So potentially a lot of these profits are just sitting on the sidelines in gold balance, ready to ape more players. So obviously you'd want this chart to be up only forever, but it is in a bit of a pullback, but it's not a crazy pullback. So right now the market cap for all the total players is 67 million. So I don't think that's huge, especially for a crypto app. Like, crypto apps can get much bigger than that. So this is the first dip that Football.Fun is experiencing. I still think it's a really early project. And what is really has the potential to send this game to astronomical heights would be if normies start playing it, and normies are starting to play it. I mean normies who are like not really crypto native, like maybe like own a bit of Bitcoin in Coinbase or a bit of XRP or something, but they're actually playing this game because they want to play this game. Like fantasy football guys are playing it because, you know, they play their normal fantasy football, but they can't make money from it. So I do think normies are joining, but the more we see of that, the better, in my opinion, obviously. But that's the big thing that can happen here, because it's a good game. Alright, I'm going to quickly show you how to use this app, how to navigate the website. So this is the homepage, just click up there. Here you can buy packs. So the more tournament points you have, I don't have any tournament points, but when you earn tournament points, you're able to open these packs and get more player shares of like random players. So that's kind of fun. These are reputation points. So I think it's a very good idea to do these objectives. So in order to do that, you're just going to click your profile and then you're going to click objectives. And then there's all these different objectives that you can do, like connect your Discord, connect your wallet, connect your Twitter, and you're just going to get these reputation points and you're going to jump levels. I think reputation points could be helpful toward an airdrop. I think this platform will do some sort of airdrop down the line, and reputation points also means it's going to reduce your fees and like other bonuses. Like, I think it's a good idea to try and get a lot of these reputation points. Also, you can use my referral link. I think you get 100. So next, so that's your squad. Transfers, this is where you can like basically trade, and transfers is going to show you the most expensive player all the way down, so you can just buy whatever you think here, and that's the price in USDC. Like this gold is just basically USDC, so you can buy or sell, and it's just like any other coin. So I would say in regards to this, the fees on this platform are really high, like minimum 5%, but can go higher if a lot of people are trying to sell at the same time. The fees are going to be like 20%, and the more reputation points you have, the lower your fees will be. But even still, there's a lot of fees in order to sell these players. So if I were you, I would be quite careful with who I'm buying. with the idea that I'm probably going to hold them to reduce the amount of fees that you are paying on these players, because yeah, the fees are like really high. So the reason they have these high fees is kind of to keep traders out of this game. They kind of want to make this a game that is useful. Well, it's more for people who are actually playing the game rather than, mercenary capital that's just coming in, buying up all the players and then selling them all. So when there was this big dump, obviously the fees spiked massively up to like 25%. Right now it's 7%, so it's not crazy, because probably everything's down quite a lot today, so people aren't as happy to sell. And these fees actually go back into buying back some of the players. They're used to give rewards to referrals. So the fees that they're charging aren't just going to the founder's pockets. I think the founder is very, very much like, I watched an interview with him. He's very like long-term thinking. He's been building these kind of applications for years. So I think he wants this one to actually take off. From what I was hearing from him, it didn't seem like a scammer, in my opinion. So in order to get tournament points, like I said, to be able to open more packs, which you can sell for USDC or that you can use for your next tournament, you don't have to do anything. You just have to buy the players and they will be entered into the tournament. You don't need to select different players. You do need a minimum of 5 players, so you can just buy 1 share of each if you just want to test this game out. So 1 share is like 40 cents of someone, so you just need 5 different players in order to be in a tournament. And here's a bit of information on how the tournament points are scored. So it's actually really clever. It's not just like, if they score they get 10 points. Obviously that is helpful, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So here you can see all of the different variables that go into the amount of scores, the amount of tournament points that one player will score. So you can have a look at this yourself, and if you know about football, again, you're at such an advantage probably of being able to determine who's going to score a lot of points. So if someone scores a lot of points but their shares are really low, then you're just going to absolutely kill it. Like if someone who's worth 5 cents scores 3 goals, a hat-trick in a game, you're going to get so much tournament points. So that's kind of what you want to be thinking. So here's another site called FTF Tracker. You can have a look at what's trending, what's having a lot of volume. This is the players by market cap. Lamine Yamal is 8 million, Kylian Mbappe 5 million, etc, etc. This kind of shows you who is popping off on the day. A lot of these are pumped today. These are probably mostly new players. So there was a new player drop yesterday. So they drop new players once a week. Right now there's 90 total players. So if we go to transfers, you can see there's 90. So there was 10 new ones yesterday. And if you're able to snipe one of these new players, they usually 10x overnight. But it's really hard to snipe them. And I was went onto the website and the website was so slow. So obviously it's not easy to snipe them because everyone's aware of this now. So you can basically buy them at 0. So if you're able to set your slippage, have a really good connection, and smash your gas feed through, then you'll do really well. Like for example, this was probably a new player that just dropped yesterday, and I think they're going to do 250 total players. So almost half of the total players are in circulation. So it looks like it's kind of ticking up now. I think I'm going to deposit more USDC in here. I think it's a fun game. I'm looking forward to seeing how my squad does this week. Obviously we're not super early. People who joined just a week ago are up, still up 10, about 5x. So take it with a grain of salt, but at least you're not buying at the absolute pico top either if you are going to get involved. And I'll share any players that I buy in my free Telegram. So join my free Telegram, and hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.